TLDR, 3.0 was meh. It did not change a single problem I had with the game. And that's that. Minor spoilers for the 3.0 story, by the way. Now into the video proper. If you read some of my posts on YouTube, you'll know that I've been drifting away from this game. Here's why I'm having a really complicated feels time with this game. 4 things have been bugging me a lot. Number 1, community. Number 2, story. Number 3, combat. Number 4, the characters. The community. Okay, that's an easy one. I don't want to rehash what's already been said, so if you are interested, you can watch the previous video for a bit more context. Anyways, trying to engage in conversations with rather uninformed and toxic community of Hoyoverse gacha gamers was extremely challenging and draining. These people say, well, that's the norm in the gacha game, when sometimes it is not. Hoyoverse's refusal to directly buff an old character is the industry standard. Many gacha games that have significant amounts of power creep, like Honkai Star Rail, have a system in which they buff the older characters directly. No, I am not being this naive, oh, this is your first gacha gamer person you think I am by requesting the game developers to rebalance their game. There's a lot more complaints, but again, you should watch my previous video for more context. However, I think it's important to note that the frustrating community discussions, i.e. power creep, etc., stems from the structural issues that are becoming more pronounced with time in Honkai Star Rail. And I'm not only talking about power creep. I know I'm in the minority when I say I hate Honkai Star Rail's story, period. Everyone brings up the too much yapping and telling not showing issues that plague its story, so I won't go into too much detail about that. So what else? Well, Belobog and Zanzo Laofu have also been incredibly bad, both in writing quality and the author's capacity to write events in accordance to real-life societal and political realities. Initially, I planned on making a video talking about why Belobog's story was an absolute nightmare from the perspective of racism, classism, segregation, and neocolonialism, but I know that the gacha community does not have the intellectual capacity to engage with these sorts of conversations. If you are truly interested, let me know. I have the scraps of that script somewhere. I can make it happen. The story quality has stayed more or less the same. 3.0 has some good parts and a lot of misses. And I mean a lot. But, more importantly, the volume has exploded like the expansion of the universe. So much bloat to the point where I've fallen asleep multiple times during the story quests. It wants to be super serious and cunning, but ends up being boring because I know there will be 0 consequences or stakes in this game after so many fake out deaths. The only positive thing I'll say is that the dynamic between Phainon and Mayday is pretty endearing. As for the characters, well, they have been disappointing. Not necessarily because I hate the characters. This wouldn't even change if I liked them or not, but the way that they're being marketed is just awful. Every 2 weeks, a new character is drip marketed and then sold to us. There is simply not enough screen time for all these new characters, let alone the old ones. This has completely destroyed my ability to get attached to said characters and pull for them. Sure, how they look is an important part of their appeal, but giving these characters a chance to shine and allow us to build up anticipation and desire for a character with a delayed release is also so important. I want to bring up Firefly here. I'm not her biggest fan, nor do I think her story is all that great, with all this retconning of her deaths. Yes, plural. They retcon her death 3 times. Ugh. Anyways, despite all this, her fake-out death in 2.0 story ignited the fan base. The community wanted to see her again and wanted to pull for her, but couldn't. And all that built up anticipation and desire to pull for a story significant character exploded in 2.3 when Firefly was finally released. This is how every character should be marketed. Give the character ample screen time or an important role that is emotionally engaging. Show their faces for more than a patch before selling it to us. Is it really too much to ask for some type of a hype build-up? I just don't know. This has been an issue since day one, and 3.0 doesn't do much to fix it. The Herda being released for the first part of 3.0 is weird as hell. Like, okay, a familiar face we've interacted with. Yes, that's good, but honestly, there was no build-up. I know she is connected to the story. She's the reason why we ended up in Amphoreus. I know, but she barely shows up. Since the story is focusing on the Trailblazer and Dan Heng, who's been stranded on Amphoreus. Like, was it really necessary to release her now when she hasn't done anything cool? Why not release her when she does something super awesome? Same thing for Aglaia. She's the character that we spend the least amount of time with. Why is she being released now? I just don't get it. Hoyoverse, do you not want people to pull for these characters? Even those who are not convinced by the drip marketing? Because people like that exist. Are you just intending to sell the characters to people who are 100% going to pull them based on their looks, no matter what? Because that is a bad marketing strategy. It is in your best interest to convince players to pull even if they weren't interested initially based on the drip marketing. But I know why you don't do this, because the only type of convincing you'll actually deploy is meta-related. You want to sell characters by making them powerful. That brings us to the combat. The thing that drew me into this game initially has completely turned me off with the insane amounts of power creep and Hoyoverse's willingness to destroy their own internal mechanics. I said this before, but weakness implant is one of the biggest gripes I have. Yes, Silverwolf was able to do that, but that and defense shred was all she did. You had to make room for her in the party to make that happen, meaning your team construction was harder if you decided to utilize her. But no, every break-focused characters get some sort of elemental ignore or implant. Great. Thank you. Just make universal teams for everything and just sell them to us. Everyone knows this, but HP inflation in the endgame content has been aggressive to the point where I'm honestly not sure if I want to continue playing. So all these complicated, very loaded sentiments regarding this game have been making me seriously reconsider how I approach this game. I really like turn-based combat, and again, I started this game because I liked the turn-based combat. And maybe it is time for me to finally accept that this game is not what I want it to be. So yeah, that is my complicated feelings towards Honkai Star Rail and especially the 3.0 update. I don't know, it's really meh right now. And again, I will continue to play because I like a lot of the characters. Like, I love Jing Yuan. I'm being held hostage by this man. You need to understand that you have made me play this game for 2 years, Jing Yuan. How could you do this to me? Also, Sampo. God, I need to see a new 5-star version of Sampo. Somebody make it happen, please. Anyways, yeah, I'm being held hostage by these characters. Yeah, Phainon too. I really like Phainon. So, yeah, that's it. Sorry this video is a little bit gloomy. Um, oh, also, I couldn't fit this anywhere, but Amphoreus looks really odd. Don't you think so? I don't know if this is intentional or not because I couldn't keep my eyes open for the majority of the story in this patch, but the location gives me serious cognitive dissonance. The environment really looks bland and offensive at the same time, like someone just threw a bunch of low-tier assets designed by different people into like one location. I just really don't know how to explain this. But yeah, it's so weird looking to me. That's the end of the video. Uh, the next part is me going off script to ramble about, you know, what I'm gonna do in the next few videos. So if you're interested, hang around. If not, bye. I hope you have a good day. With all that in mind, I have been playing other games more. So I've been playing Girls Frontline 2 a lot more because I really enjoy that game. I am biased because I am a Girls Frontline 1 player, a hardcore one at that. So one of my favorite games of all time. So I've been playing that game and I've been enjoying that a lot more, especially the story. So like expect more videos about different games and also Wuthering Waves. I've been playing since day one. I liked the game, but the story was a little bit bad. Nothing like catastrophic and offensive, but it was incomprehensible. But 2.0 really changed for the better. So I'm excited to cover that game a lot more since I feel like I get to talk about the game positively because I'm not I'm not here to just randomly talk bad about games, right? I want to talk about games that are good. So expect content for Girls Frontline 2 and Wuthering Waves mostly. And the next video specifically that I'm planning on making is about the games that I play and the games that I don't anymore. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I'm going to talk about, Honkai Star Rail, Girls Line 1, and Genshin Impact because I used to play it, and sort of gacha game-wise, my game history, but also, in general, what kind of games I played. In the post that I made a couple weeks ago, I talk about enjoying Persona and SMT. So that's that. Sorry the last part of the video was a little bit unscripted. But anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed 3.0, unlike me, because there are some things that are likable about it, and, I want people to enjoy things for the most part. Anyhow, happy Lunar New Year. I hope you had fun, and take care. I'll see you very soon because I will be writing the script for that video as soon as possible. Bye now.